And with the big game just 3 days away, you might be finalizing your party plans. But if you got little ones at home, you might be wondering how to make your festivities kid-friendly. Cassie Slane joins us in the PHL 17 kitchen for some tips on making your big game party fun for all ages. Good morning, Cassie.
Good morning. Good to be here.
It's so exciting. We're talking about the Super Bowl. And when it comes to planning a party, what's most important when we're thinking about the kids, too?
Well, so the parents want to watch the game. They want to have a lot of fun. The kids want to have fun, too. And you don't want them coming in every 5 seconds to bother you.
Yes.
So you want to keep them busy with their own version of watching the game. It doesn't have to be your version, but, you know, fun snacks, activities to keep them busy.
So let's start with activity.
Yes.
I really love your idea here. We sort of have a game time bingo.
Yeah, so shout out to dailydiylife.com. I printed this. These are free printables off of their website. These are football bingo cards. These are going to make it really fun for kids to watch the game because they may not always know what's going on, but they can watch for the coin toss, and then they can do some fun things with the commercials, and they could put candy on here as their, you know, in their bingo card, and first one to bingo, you know, maybe gets a little prize. So this will keep them busy through the game so that they're watching it and they're engaged in their own way.
And that's what I love because they really have to be listening. So again, parents can sort of focus on the game as well if the kids are locked in and trying to find the square, if it's mentioned or whatnot. So great idea, and we love a free printable always. And fun snacks. We got to keep them fed.
So sometimes people like to set up another screening room in their house if they have that space, you know, set up a TV in another area and set up some fun snacks for the kids, you know. I know you want to try to do something slightly healthy. It's difficult, but this is pizza, you know, shaped as a football with a pepperoni, something fun and easy.
Yep.
This is chocolate dipped strawberries with, you know, making them look like footballs. So something festive. I'm not super good with like creating all these fancy things, but I was able to do this. And then fun drinks, maybe fun straws, things like that, just to, you know, give it a little festive feel.
And you want to do something that kids are going to eat, and kids love pizza, so that's an easy thing to sort of throw in your oven. And I love the mix of a little bit of sugar and some fruit to get that nutrition a bit. And even like with the Eagles playing, you can make the drinks a fun color. If
you
wanted
can do
to.
so many fun things. Exactly. And you can decorate this differently. You know, you can put white string cheese on here and make the lines.
You can go all out.
You can go all out with fun colored dip. You know, you could do like a regular, you know, chip dip and put in a little food coloring and make it green. You know, there's a lot of really fun things online too that you can see that are easy, you know.
And I'm already liking the looks of this. We've got an ice cream, a sundae bar. So what's the idea here?
So maybe at halftime, you know, maybe if everyone's good and they behave themselves, you can, you know, tempt them with an ice cream sundae bar at halftime. These are some items that I just picked up. They were, you know, really easy, so you could just do some cute ice cream and all these fun colored sprinkles. You can do green sprinkles. You can do so many things. You could do green mint ice cream, something that's a little bit more Eagles. So this is fun for the whole family. Everybody can enjoy this at halftime, and then you can watch the halftime show together and, you know, eat your ice cream sundae.
I was going to say, adults and kids, I think, are both really going to love to be able to get hands-on and make these different sundaes. So any lasting thoughts as we head into Sunday? I love your idea of, if you have the space, a separate room where the kids can watch. Maybe you have an older sibling or an older cousin that can sort of keep an eye on everyone.
That's exactly what I was going to say. So, you know, maybe you pay an older sibling like an extra couple of bucks or something to keep an eye on things. You know, maybe they can run a couple of games with the kids, you know, and have a scoreboard, something like that. There's a lot of ideas, especially online, with snacks and, you know, different crafts. You can have the younger kids doing a fun craft and coloring, football, you know, things like that.
It's all about being interactive and keeping them busy.
Keeping them busy, and you know, so you can enjoy yourself too.
Absolutely.
Yes,
and then maybe some of them will go to bed a little bit as the game's ending. We're like, all right, after all the sugar,
fingers crossed.
Cassie, if people want more information about you, where can they find you?
Yes, I'm online. I'm on Instagram at Cassie Slane, and there's so many fun things to do. Pinterest and everything, it'll give you a lot of ideas.
Pinterest is a parent's best friend. I truly believe that.
It really is.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Great ideas.